Want to make sure your 20s are a complete disaster? Here's the ultimate foolproof guide, guaranteed to leave you burnt out, broke, and full of regret. From gambling away your finances with high-risk bets to embracing toxic relationships, we'll cover the best ways to ensure you look back on these years as a waste of potential and opportunity. Don't worry, we'll also include some surefire advice on self-sabotage to keep you on the wrong track. Throughout this video, you'll wonder, how many of these steps am I already practicing? Can I spot the best ways to stay off the right path? And stick around to find out why just going with the flow might be the best possible way to crash and burn through life's most blissful years. So you're finally independent from your overbearing parents, ready to take the world by storm. Now's the time to shine. First things first, money. Now that you're in your 20s, you'll never have to hear no as a final answer to any wish. This means it's time to indulge in all your childhood cravings without holding back. A huge tub of your favorite ice cream sounds like a nice reward after a long commute home from work. Phone bills can also wait. That reminds me, you should check out that fancy new credit card you saw in a YouTube ad last night. Imagine it. Payday finally rolls around, and instead of responsibly setting aside some cash for a rainy day, you instead treat yourself to an all-out spending spree. If you've got enough in your account to cover your wants, why worry about some distant future? Once the check clears, it'll be time to hit the club and party like it's the end of the world. If you run out of money halfway through the month, you can just work harder next month. Nothing a quick motivational mastermind David Goggins binge can't inspire you to do. Alright, the shiny plastic finally came in the mail. Time to try out your new toy. In your mind, credit cards are practically free money, especially when the grind set version of you will make all the money back. Go on, use the last minute concert tickets on the person you met while out on the town last week. Why worry about interest rates? Those things aren't that big of a deal and the financial system's a scam anyway. If there is talk about canceling student loan debt, credit card loans might be next in line. Financial planners often talk about the debt trap that people fall into in their 20s by overspending on credit. You're built differently, though. They'll often say stuff about high interest rates, minimum payments, and how debt can quickly spiral out of control. They don't know that you have a secret. Those nerds haven't seen the influencer masterclass you've bookmarked on how to play the debt system. So why worry? Any emergency fund is only ever a nice idea if you expect bad things to happen. Seriously, what's the worst that could happen in your 20s? Without an emergency fund, you get to live life on the edge. You will always have the thrill of uncertainty to make experiences feel like a movie. Car broke down? Now you're on a side quest, scrapping together enough cash by any means possible. Health emergency is a fantastic opportunity to feel like a mafia boss. Time to start calling in some favors. Some financial advisors recommend something like 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses as a safety net. Your view has always been, why make a safety net when you don't plan on falling? Retirement, in this economy, that's for a forgotten generation. Why start saving now when you've got decades to worry about it? Experts preach about things like compound interest and early retirement savings. Really, though, what's the rush? There's no need to think about where you'll be in 40 years, especially when you're still figuring out what's for dinner tonight. Besides, who even thinks that there's a future worth saving for? Climate change, overpopulation, AI, and other factors heavily affect what lies ahead, so live for today. On that note, you should also totally ignore the fact that experts have found that planning for the future helps you stay ahead of life's curveballs. They say that planning can help improve performance in future tasks and reduce the impact on current tasks. Except these experts haven't seen your ace in the hole. You can always rely on the younger generation to bail you out. Who needs long-term goals when the short-term offers so many more exciting opportunities? Weekends were literally made for parties, not pondering about your future or moping about what you can't control. Skip the boring stuff like career planning and spend your time where it truly matters. Create the perfect social media stories from your latest night out. That's a short-term goal with a quick result. Forget any lectures about delayed gratification and investing in your future. Soak up all the fun in your midst and enjoy a more fulfilling life right now. The fear of missing out is now your new religion. Like with many religions, you're bound by this creed, so it's time to start attending every event. Yes, including that grandiose wedding in Europe. Sure, it's someone you only hung out with in sophomore year of college, but everyone you know is going. The last thing you want to miss is a fancy ice sculpture at a wedding. FOMO is that thing whispering in your ear saying, you'll regret staying in. Suddenly you abandon that course you signed up for in exchange for a bit of social validation. You know what? Worth it. After all, ruining your 20s is a pretty epic way to live. Studies show that FOMO can lead to increased stress, financial problems, and depression in young adults. Instead of sorting out those internalized issues, give in to your insecurities fully. Researchers can't deal with the thrill of keeping up with everyone else at all costs. Now we've gotten to the good part. The moment you get a hint of cash inflow to your bank account, spend it. Seriously, let's say you get a raise, then it's time to upgrade your car, your wardrobe, and your choice of restaurants. Of course, the endless chase won't fill that deep, gaping hole in your heart, the one where you always feel like you're just one step behind right where you want to be. Then again, stability is boring, and there's a certain thrill that comes with never having quite enough. Financial experts warn that lifestyle inflation can keep you trapped living paycheck to paycheck, even when your income rises. A practical way to avoid lifestyle inflation is to automate your savings. That way you'll ensure that a portion of your income is adequately tucked away before you have a chance to spend it all. Why bother building yourself up when you can binge watch an entire Netflix series or doom scroll through videos about how your life could be better? If that's what you're currently doing, we're interrupting the brain rot broadcast to let you know that you should do better. Now, back to the program. The beauty of short-term distractions is that they usually feel a lot more urgent and exciting, especially compared to that professional certification you're working on. Here's a life-ruining tip. If you're ever tempted to start working on a long-term goal, distract yourself immediately with anything else. Scroll through your bookmarks on social media and send the funniest memes to your friends, randomly update your wish list of things you can't afford, and then complain about how much your life sucks to your notes app. Just the usual sane 20-something-year-old activities. To those who are curious about life in the long term, skills are worth the effort. We're talking about ruining your 20s, so let's stay focused. Reflecting on your life is hard. Denial is a lot easier. All of the teenage years of pain, trauma, and buried burdens gnawing at the gates of your adult form, begging to be heard. Ignore it. Healing your inner child and confronting your demons is only cool when there's $1 million TV crew filming it for a network. If you're not getting paid, it's not worth your time. Now you get to be in your 20s acting childish and making your problems everyone's problem. Toxic job? That's your boss's fault. Unfulfilled in a relationship? Then your partner was the problem. Get a new relationship next week and then repeat the cycle. Along the way, swear that you're doing everything right. All signs of stagnation in your life are definitely not your fault. Instead, it's this evil, capitalistic society that's the problem. The Joker was right after all. Experts on mental health and personal growth often argue that self-reflection is a major cornerstone of maturity and success. So you're going to have to not do that. Questions like, am I happy, or was this my fault, are booby traps waiting to sabotage your carefree vibes. The wisest of our species learn that confronting these inner thoughts offers a profound level of growth once we work through the issues. Unfortunately, life is too short to spend time wrestling your inner demons. Therapy and journaling are things that require effort and might reveal truths about yourself that you're not ready to face. It's better to instead keep ignoring the voices in your head. Studies also outline why therapy and journaling will greatly improve your emotional intelligence, making you more resilient. Journaling can reshape your brain, improving emotional regulation by engaging your amygdala, the brain's emotional processing center. Who needs that, though, when you can throw your emotions down the empty bottles you've drowned yourself within? Are you friends with people that constantly put you down, like the sort that laugh at your attempts to try new things, or perhaps a partner that never respects your boundaries? If your life is littered with people who constantly make you feel terrible, you're doing pretty good. Cutting off toxic people or setting boundaries is only for those who actually care about their mental health. That part of you that's considering leaving a toxic relationship is missing the fact that if you stay, you can avoid accountability. Instead, you get to blame all your life shortcomings on this one thing. Of course, you didn't have a choice. At least that's what your future self gets to say. Spoiler alert, your clueless partner isn't going to notice that they're making you miserable. Meanwhile, your friends who are supposed to ease your burdens aren't that much better. They constantly laugh at your dreams, ghost you when they need something, and often make jokes at your expense in front of others. Among the folks who made their right choices in their 20s, you'll often find those who were able to surround themselves with supportive people. Be honest, though, their drama is a lot more exciting. Therapy's expensive, and admitting you might need help is just embarrassing. What do you mean you're in your 20s and can't brute force your way through problems? Maybe you should consider a pinwheel hat and a lollipop to validate your lackluster identity. No. You're ruining your 20s, and there's no faster way than to completely deceive yourself. One of the surefire ways to do this is by believing you can figure out everything on your own. Keep telling yourself that. Ignore the growing pile of unresolved issues and trust that you'll handle them by doing absolutely nothing. Self-help books are overrated. Mindfulness is a mouthful to pronounce, and you're literally already the best. You've got nothing to worry about. Trust the voice telling you to ruin your youth. Begin to lean into unhealthy coping mechanisms. Now, this is where the fun really begins. Retail therapy is a must. That's when you avoid your mental health struggles by engaging in consumerism for the sake of it. Just buy things, or it might be time to sink into endless hours of gaming, all while something gnaws deep within, begging to be heard. It's cheaper, faster, and way more destructive to do this. Now, sure, therapists and counselors are equipped to help people identify and address the underlying cause of their problems. Except, who needs that when you could master the art of self-sabotage instead?